Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, what's unsolicited advice? Take it or leave it. Humans are evil. Human beings are just evil. There's not no good people in the world right now. Things used to be just a little bit better than they are now. People showed a lot more love and kindness and just happiness overall. But right now, it's bad. I don't want this to be a sad post because it's the holiday season. But what I mean by humans being evil, what I mean is that human beings, us as human beings, are not evolving when it comes to loving one another. No hate in our hearts, as far as like hate crimes and things like that are concerned. Bitterness, being vindictive, spiteful, jealousy, wanting to crucify each other. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world right now, and humans are at the forefront of it. But there are some good people out there. There's a lot of good people that don't get the light shined on them enough. But what I'm here today to do is just to give some advice on how we can be better people, or just good people overall. I know one of the big things that we have to start having is empathy. We have to, understand and share the feelings of others. Sometimes you got to put yourself in their shoes. We're quick to judge. We're quick to, like I said, crucify and cast people out. Just because we don't agree with something, or we refuse to understand somebody just because of something that they do that we don't understand or we can't control. So, we don't empathize enough. And that's something that us as people, it would help us to be, better people, good people overall. As I said earlier, kindness is another thing. It costs nothing to be kind. Being kind, you don't know how much that would mean to somebody that might be going through something. Just being kind, being considerate and generous, even in small ways. It doesn't have to be a big way, just a small way. But just being kind overall to each other, and just remembering that all it takes is just that one little act of kindness to turn somebody's day around, or turn somebody's life around. Make them smile, make them forget about something bad. It like I said, it doesn't cost anything to be kind. Another way we can be better people or better human beings is active listening. Pay full attention to someone. A lot of times that means putting your phone down, looking them in the eyes, and giving them the attention that they deserve. And like I said, and that goes back to kindness, just doing that alone, them knowing that you're looking at them eye to eye and talking to them, it makes them feel important. It makes them feel like what they're saying means something to you. And you can pick up on a whole lot if you're paying attention to what somebody's saying. Another way we can be good people is like honesty. Honesty is honesty is an acquired taste. It's one of those things that, you want. Everybody says they want you to be honest, but a lot of people can't take honesty. And part of being a good person is always being honest, no matter how bad it may sound, no matter how much a person may not want to hear it or know about it. It is essential to always be honest to somebody. You let them sort out how they're going to deal with it. But be honest. You know, some of y'all might be afraid to be honest to your friend, out of fear of losing them. If you can't be honest with your friend, they're not necessarily your friends. They're definitely not your friends if you can't. And even if they get mad, give them some time. They'll probably come back around once, they sort out their thoughts. Honesty, of course, works great in relationships and marriage. Even though people fall out of honesty, it's best to just be honest and forthright. You let that person make up their own mind. We're not here to to babysit somebody and say, well, you know what, I'm trying to protect your feelings. No, just be honest. It'll ease your soul and it'll ease their soul in the long run. Respect is another way that we can do better as human beings. It'll make us better people if we learn to respect one another. One of the biggest things right now is gender identity. To each his own. If that's what that person wants to do, respect it. It's just like you wouldn't want somebody to come up and judge you or to criticize you because of your race, your gender, what you do for a living, how many kids you have, if you're married, if you're not married, whatever it may be. You don't want somebody to judge you based on that. It's just, it's tiring and it's tedious to disrespect somebody, to disrespect everybody you come across just because they don't live life the way you live or don't think the way you think. And that goes for you religious zealots too. Y'all are very bad about that. You gotta let it go. Another way we can be better as human beings is forgiveness. You gotta learn to put your pride aside. You can always keep your dignity, but put your pride aside. Don't be so stubborn. Learn to look at a situation and say, you know what, it's time for me to forgive and move on with my life. Holding on to something is like carrying cancer around with you. It eats at you. It weakens you. And it can kill you. It can, because you're holding on to something that's detrimental to your health. And you have to learn to forgive. Even I have to learn that. There's things that I haven't forgiven that I have to learn to forgive. And that's something that I'm working on. We have to change our attitudes. That's another way that we can be better people. There's so many bad attitudes out here. A lot of that has to do with social media. Don't let somebody hype you up to ruin your life. Oh, you ain't got to take that. Oh, you don't deserve this, or you don't deserve less than this. Whatever hypes you up to have a negative attitude is counterproductive. Having a bad attitude is just counterproductive. There's no way that I walk into work or I come home or I come to a friend's house or to an event and the first thing I see is somebody with a stank attitude. Like, how do you live like that every day? How do you wake up with an attitude? Who hurt you? Who put you in that headspace? That goes back to the forgiveness thing. It sounds like you need to forgive somebody so you can be a better version of yourself. But just walking around with a misplaced attitude all the time is counterproductive. It has no place in you thinking that you're a good person. You're not. I'll say that. I'll say it. People with bad attitudes are not good people. Those are the people that will bring you down to their level at all times. Misery loves company. If you know somebody that constantly has a bad attitude, get away from them. Do not be around them. Let them be by themselves. Let them be with themselves and their thoughts. Anybody that understands what I'm saying right now knows how bad that can ruin your day. Even seeing the person is like, but with that being said, another thing that we can do to be better people and just be good people overall to each other is supporting each other. I see it sometimes on social media. People will post events, things that are people doing. People are doing. We support our children. I see it. Sometimes there's a lot of good supporting going out there, but there's a lot of negativity that comes with that too. We don't support each other the best way that we should. Whether it's our culture, whether it's our race, whether it's our family, whether it's friends. We could be better at supporting each other and being there for each other. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know what that little help can do for that person. You never know what it would mean to somebody for you to support their business or support their goals and their dreams. Sometimes that's all that person needs is motivation. Even if it's just one person, you just need to know that somebody thinks that you're doing good, or you're doing something with yourself, that everything's all right with the world. Another way that we can be better people, just volunteering. Volunteering is a good way to support, not to support, but to be better people, to be good people, good Samaritans. Of course, there's plenty of places you can go to volunteer. There's plenty of churches and homeless shelters, things like that, where you can volunteer, especially right now in the holidays. Soup kitchens, toy drives, back to school things. Even senior citizens need support with things. So, there's plenty of places you can go to volunteer. The rec department, kids always need coaches, mentors, things of that such. Your local schools, be a part of the PTA, athletic boosters, whatever. There's plenty of ways to volunteer, and it's just a good way to be a better person. Just for your community, not for the world, for your community. And I would say just integrity. We have to get back to having better integrity. Even I need to have better integrity. Align your values, with your actions, and be consistent with your behavior. We are so inconsistent. Social media has caused us to have a lack of integrity because it's so contradictory. We say one thing, but then when people call you on it, or they're about action, all of a sudden it's, oh, I'm just playing, it's just for social media, I don't really mean this, or I don't mean that, or I got to get on here and apologize, or oh, I'm just having fun, oh, this ain't really me, I'm just playing a part. It's like, no, you have to draw a line and have integrity. There needs to be a line that you don't cross, or there has to be a certain level that you don't go to. It's just about being consistent, especially with being a good person. Just be consistent. Sometimes that's all it takes. To be a good person is be consistent. If somebody knows that you're consistent, that's probably the best thing you can be for them. You don't have to be perfect, but if you're consistent, people can deal with that. People can relate to that. People appreciate that. But like I said, I didn't want this to be negative. I wanted it to be positive. I wanted to give positive answers to how we can be better people. And I think those are at least a good start. If you can think of anything else, let me know. Leave comments, whatever you think will be best. Like I said, but right now, human beings are evil. I mean, they're just the worst right now. I wish there were better people in this world right now, better examples for our kids. But I think we could do better. I don't think we're that far off. A little bit here, a little bit there, and things will be a little better. But that's just my unsolicited advice. You can take it or leave it.